Chapter 20. The Queen's Heart. The cemetery was quiet, save for the soft rustling of leaves in the trees and the occasional distant bird call. I sat on the cool grass, my gaze fixed on the name etched into the stone before me. Reinhardt. My last name. My father's name. The weight of it felt heavier than ever as I traced the letters with my fingers, trying to ground myself in the moment, trying to breathe through the suffocating mix of grief and responsibility. "I'm in control now, Dad," I whispered, my voice trembling just slightly. "I did it. The company is mine. Everything you built, everything you sacrificed for, it's safe." It wasn't just about keeping it safe. It was about making it more. I could feel that desire burning deep inside me now. "I'm not going to just protect it," I continued, staring at the fresh earth. "I'm going to make it better. The merger with Rockford is just the beginning. This is my foundation, Dad. I'm going to build something lasting. Something more than just power and influence. A legacy that's about more than control." I swallowed hard, my chest tightening as the reality of the path I had chosen settled in. "And if anyone is going to win my heart," I whispered, my voice soft but resolute, "it's going to be for love. True love. Not for a merger. Not for the lust of power." The words came easily now, though the ache in my chest didn't lessen. I couldn't let myself be swayed by ambition or greed. Not again. I couldn't let anyone play me. For a few minutes, I sat there in silence, letting the cool air wrap around me, letting myself feel the weight of everything, of my father's absence, of the decisions I'd made, and of the future I was determined to shape. Then, I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, deliberate. Without turning, I knew who it was. Adrian. He came to a stop just a few feet behind me, and I felt the warmth of his presence even before he spoke. "You took control," he said, his voice quiet but full of something more. "I didn't expect it, but I'm impressed." I didn't respond right away. I kept my eyes on the stone, my heart steadying as I took a deep breath. He was impressed. Of course he was. Adrian loved power, respected it, but he wasn't the one in control anymore. I was. Finally, I looked up, meeting his gaze. He stood there, hands in his pockets, his eyes softer than I'd ever seen them. There was admiration there, maybe even something close to respect. "I've always admired strong women," Adrian continued, stepping closer, his eyes never leaving mine. "You didn't just play the game, you changed it. And I can't help but wonder." He trailed off, his voice low, eyes flickering with a familiar intensity. "What if we played it together?" I felt a slow smile tug at my lips. Adrian always looking for the angle. "What are you saying?" I asked, watching him closely. He crouched down beside me, his expression open, vulnerable in a way I hadn't seen before. "I'm saying that maybe there's potential for us. Something real. You're the kind of woman I want by my side, Juliet, and I think you know that." I looked into his eyes, my heart pounding with the weight of his words. For so long, I had let my feelings for him cloud my judgment, that I couldn't afford to fall into that trap again. I wasn't the same woman I'd been when this all started. I wasn't playing his game anymore. He was playing mine. "I had feelings for you," I said softly, watching the way his gaze sharpened at my admission. "Maybe I still do. But if you want to be with me, Adrian, it's going to be on my terms. You'll have to prove yourself worthy. I don't play for power anymore. If you want my heart, you'll have to earn it." He blinked, his expression unreadable for a moment, and then a slow, almost predatory smile curved his lips. "Worthy, huh?" I stood, brushing the grass from my dress as I turned to face him fully. The sun was setting behind me, casting long shadows across the cemetery, and for the first time in a long time, I felt truly powerful. I stepped closer to him, feeling the heat of his breath as I moved within inches of his face. And then I kissed him. It was soft, brief, but enough to send a spark between us, the kind of electricity that always hummed beneath the surface when we were together. When I pulled back, I saw the surprise in his eyes, the question forming on his lips. "Well, what was that for?" he asked, his voice low and almost breathless. I placed my hand gently on the side of his face, my thumb brushing his cheek. "For tomorrow," I whispered, my voice laced with a challenge. Let's see if you can play my game, Adrian. The prize is still in reach. If you're worthy. I stepped back, leaving him standing there, watching me with that familiar mix of awe and confusion. With one last glance, I turned and walked away, my heart steady, my resolve even stronger. As I walked into the distance, I didn't need to look back to know that Adrian was smiling, finally realizing what he'd always suspected, but had never quite understood. He wasn't the player in this game. He was the one being played.